I'm glad you touched upon the topic of altars. People ought to know what the magical purpose of them is.
I absolutely agree, and that's why I made the reel.
Well, on that note, here are my questions.
Sure.
First of all, can we have multiple altars at a time?
Of course, we have multiple altars at Drakaina. I know of many people who have and own multiple altars. The rules will be different. Multiple altars cannot be stacked one on top of the other. Let me just clarify that. They can be in the same area, in the same room, but the space cannot be, either stacked one atop the other, or they can't be touching each other, because then the energy just flows one altar energy goes into another, and then it spoils the wave of the entire spell or the area where you're going to conduct the spell. So multiple altars are a yes. Be careful of the space between two altars. Approximately, I'm happy with 6 inches, right? And so in a normal room, you can fit in 2 or 3 altars. Don't stack them up, and keep it clean.
What is the primary reason for keeping an altar?
To cast spells, to conduct rituals. Let me just clarify this. In Hindus, you have a mandir at home, a temple. That's also an altar. So don't think altar has got crazy stuff put on it. And an altar is a place where you keep things for a purpose, and that's a higher purpose. It can't be a dressing table. It has to be a place where you keep things that are spell casted through your chants, through rituals conducted, through oils, etc. And then it's used for a higher purpose, to get something without hurting anyone. So the whole idea of having an altar and maintaining it is so that you can use it for something beneficial for you or for someone else.
Is there any prerequisite for being an altar owner?
No, I don't see that, See, if you're a mundane and somebody who wants to try spell casting, but if you are somebody who worships a deity or a higher power, then the space that you've made for your worship, that itself is called an altar. So you don't need to have a prerequisite. If you want to keep an altar, you don't have to be a spellcaster. But if you are a spellcaster, then you have to have an altar.
And what kind of altars do we have at Drakaina?
We have a multiple number of altars. It's not just one, because we follow a lot of forms of magic. We have created 2 to 3 forms of magic. We have created the Deca magic, the money spells. We have created the order of Rastabian Malakhim magic. We have created the order of Draco runing magic, or ODRM. You won't find them anywhere else, because we love fusion. At Drakaina, we love fusion. Whether it's the vibes we have, the food we eat, the spells we cast, the way we talk, everything. Because the right kind of fusion creates the best kind of electricity to get a spell cast. So we have dragon magic, we have eclectic magic, we have runic magic, we have angel magic, we have all sorts of magic, herbal, oil, olfactory. Then we have collections that complement these magics. So when we are casting a spell, then that collection goes to that particular altar. We don't toggle between altars. A dragon altar is completely different from an eclectic altar, right? An angel altar is completely different from Shiv Shakti altar or an Ardhanarishwara altar. So that way we have a whole lot of altars, and we plan to add some more, since all of you need so much of help from us, and we will not shy away from any of it.
And lastly, are stationary altars stronger than mobile ones?
Yes and no. It depends on the spell that you're casting. Look, an altar, like I said, is a place where you put things and items for a common purpose, and when the purpose is achieved, the altar can stay on. For some reason, if you're traveling, or if it's a temporary purpose, then the altar's job is done. But if you are going to maintain that altar, or scrap it and start from scratch and put another altar in the same place, then that is also called a mobile altar. A permanent altar is stronger in many ways. Why? You are continuously putting energy, you're continuously putting your effort, you're continuously presenting yourself, and of course, anyone who has an altar knows that from the day that they start to now, okay, as long as it has been, every time you want to remove something and put something else, because it's an extension of your personality. It becomes something that's very personal. We don't show our altars to anybody, but if you were to show your altar to a person who's a fellow occultist, and if they say, oh well, it could have been better, you will never talk to them again, because it's like your baby. It's a very personal thing, and you have a relationship with it. It becomes an entity. It has a life of its own. So multiple altars, mobile altars are effective if their job is done and the intention was temporary, or if you're traveling. But permanent altars, I'm not talking about forever, but I'm talking for a long period of time, say 2 years or more. We can call them permanent altars. Are they effective? Of course, they have dollops and dollops of energy in them. So effectively, that would be an ideal option. But if you can't, it doesn't mean that you can't spellcast. And also, you can have a mobile altar as well as a permanent altar. Say we are traveling, so we can carry a mobile altar, and we do with us in case of emergencies. But there is always a permanent altar stationed in our altar room.
Thank you for explaining everything in such detail.
You're very welcome. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to write it in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and see you at Rakayana.